Welcome to the 13th Aegean Airlines Pro-Am, a tournament widely regarded as one of the best Pro-Ams in the world. The region of Messenia in the southwest mainland of Greece once again plays host to this year's tournament at the stunning venue of Costa Navarino, where entwined between the rich green fairways are centuries-old olive trees, all sitting against the beautiful blue backdrop of the Aegean Sea. An impressive place to play for the 66 teams that have travelled from all over the world for this prestigious Pro-Am. This year's team championship will be decided over 2 days on the Bay and the Dunes courses. Then the pros play a third and final championship round on the Dunes course to decide where the professional title will go in 2018. It's an impressive lineup in the pro event, featuring previous champions plus European and Challenge Tour players, alongside some top ladies European Tour players like Sophie Walker, Kelsey MacDonald and 2014 champion Carly Booth. Italian Nicolo Gaggiero is also back. The three-time champion, winner in 2011, 13 and 14, knows this tournament well and will be amongst the favourites this week. Last year's winner, Peter Gustafsson, is looking to defend his title. The Swedish professional came through a tight playoff against another tour player, Germany's George Schultz, to lift the trophy in 2017. European Tour players Emanuele Canonica and 2014 champion Jake Roos will also be throwing down the gauntlet, as well as a host of other international golfers, one of which is Henrik Engdahl. The Swede, who is based on the island of Crete, has been involved heavily in growing the game of golf in Greece and is now Vice President of the PGA of Greece. This tournament holds a special place in his heart, having attended all 13 events, as well as being crowned champion back in 2007. But it was his special friendship with the late Theodore Vasilakis, chairman of Aegean Airlines, that originally drew him to playing this event, and every year he played alongside his friend in the team event. Theodore Vasilakis will be sadly missed this year at the tournament he created, but his vision and incredible passion for the sport will be honoured at this remarkable celebration of golf in Greece.
It's going to be different this year. But it'll be special in that the founder of Aegean Airlines and the guy whose vision this event was, Mr. Vasilakis, sadly passed 3 weeks ago, and he'll be missed by a lot of the competitors. He was, to me and to the PGAs of Europe, he was far more than just a business associate. He was a great friend as well and a real visionary for golf in Greece. So I think it will be a touching week, but hopefully we can do something special and make sure that his vision and his legacy are upheld.
Well, I think the PGAs of Europe have had a great involvement here for 13 years, and myself, as the honorary president, it's a privilege to just come down here and play and meet all the pros I've known for so long, all the federations and all the people involved in this tournament. It's a spectacular venue, and to come and just be able to play for 4 days is an enormous pleasure.
It's built such a rich heritage over 13 years. It sells out every year. We have 66 teams from I think 28 different countries this year, and there's a waiting list, and that's testament to the quality of the venue. Obviously we're blessed with gorgeous weather here as well, but also I think testament to the quality of the event that they put on, both on and off the golf course.
Coming up on this year's programme, we'll have highlights coverage of Day 1 and 2 of the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am. We'll speak to Carly Booth about the closing 3 holes on the Dunes course, which may prove pivotal in deciding this year's championship. Once again, the social events play a starring role, helping to establish this tournament as the leading Pro-Am in Europe. This year's tournament also celebrates women in the sport of golf, as a number of female professional golfers turned out to support Ladies' Night. The incredible Romain Betu brought his dazzling trick shot skills to this year's tournament, wowing the crowds with a sneak preview of his show that will be part of the opening celebrations to this year's Ryder Cup. We'll have action from the last day of the Pro Tournament as the players battle it out for the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am title here at Costa Navarino. And once the golf is concluded, we'll head out to a night at the Opera, this year's theme for another incredible gala dinner. A fabulous evening celebrating this week's tournament while being entertained by opera singers. To begin the week though, it was time to officially open this year's tournament with the welcome reception. A poignant moment for family, friends and colleagues to honour the late Theodore Vasilakis, the man whose vision and passion for golf drove him to create the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am, an event to celebrate, promote and develop the game of golf here in Greece. And for the late Mr. Vasilakis, there will be no more fitting tribute than for everyone here to enjoy being part of this incredible tournament. The teams play either the Bay or the Dunes course on day one before swapping courses on day two. We caught up with some of this year's competitors, looking forward to another spectacular tournament.
Always is a pleasure to be in a place like this one. I think the course in great condition and the weather is fantastic. So very happy, and we'll see what's happened today.
Well, it's a wonderful event. We came for the first time last year, really enjoyed ourselves. We all know each other well, and yeah, just here to have a good time and play hopefully some good golf.
Yeah, win. We're here to win, no messing about this year.
Well, we've been coming back year on year, the same team all the time, dream team, and it's probably the best venue I think we've ever played at in a Pro-Am. That's why it's always oversubscribed and there's so many people here every year.
It's my more than fourth time editions, and it's always fantastic and with a magnificent, beautiful landscape, and of course the golf course is just incredible. So we need to play well today.
It's a pleasure to be here. First tournament. It's good because now I feel the atmosphere of golf. You have to take time, you have to be focused, but also you have to enjoy. It's not easy sport. I will try my best, like always, but I have to congratulate all the organizer for this event, because for me also it's great to meet professional players.
I've always promised Mr. Vasilakis that I'd help promote Greece as a golf destination, which we all know was his and Captain Vasilis' ultimate goal. And I pledged our support from South Africa as a country. And we have a very big Greek community and a lot of friends and amateurs and a big golfing community, so that's why it's special for us to come here.
Onto the team championship, and it was the footballers to kick things off. French internationals Christian Karambov, Eric Ebedal and Frederic Dehoux were joined by Greek football legend Takis Gonias. Super strike from Christian straight down the middle.
Okay. I try.
Très bien, très bien.
Now the
Très bien indeed.
Also you must make one swing.
Owner of the beautiful resort of Costa Navarino is Achilleas Konstantakopoulos, who's part of Team Ellis in this week's competition. And that is a nicely controlled shot into hole 9 on the Bay course, and Achilleas must take an immense amount of pride in seeing just how well this course has been prepared for the tournament. We'll catch up with him a little later in the show. The Aegean team, led by Eugene Papadopoulos, started their round well on the Bay course. Ex-basketballer Big Joe Alaukis showing that he can shoot from downtown with a great approach at hole 9. But it was his teammate Minas Sorotas that was celebrating hard for putting points on the board. Long-time Aegean Airlines Pro-Am supporters Alpha Bank were back again at the tournament. A team made up of Nikos Karanthanasis, Maria Palladou and Irina Krams, led by Italian European Tour player Alessandro Tardini. And it was Irina showing her pro how to navigate the 8th on the Bay course, a super up and down for a net birdie. Henrik Engdahl's team were using his wisdom to help them around the course, but Andreas Reps invariably used his ball marker too. What a way to make the birdie for the Aegean team. High fives from John Stefanidis and Vasilis Giannopoulos. Another wonderful day at the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am under beautiful blue skies here in Costa Navarino. And at the 8th on the bay, it's Team McDonald and Strathis putting this one close, and that'll come nicely back down the slope. Beautiful shot. Valio Dimchev at the 10th.
Bravo!
Drains it. Bravo indeed, Ivalio. Love the trilby as well. Appropriate headgear for a warm, sunny day here in Costa Navarino. But it's the points that count. Paul Marks, the South African pro. Oh, nearly drained that long one. And back to Team McDonald with Anil Shivana. Going to try and follow his teammate Strathis in. And he's done it. Two beautiful approaches there from Team McDonald at the 8th. The first on the bay, and Rudolf Jurczyk. Good weight, good weight. Oh, just misses on the low side, but that's a fantastic putt. And no wonder he was celebrating. That one looked in all the way. Back to the 8th, and McDonald. It'll flick in here with a wedge to set up 3 birdie opportunities. Well, there's a real scoring chance there for Team McDonald. Over to the dunes and hole 2. Well done. Craig Williams just rolling that one in. And the scores starting to build early doors in this first day of the team competition. Now back to the birdie chances. Anil Shivana straight in. Makes the birdie, takes the pressure off the rest of his team. And that is good golf on the 8th. On the dunes, the 8th hole, and Damjan Mugali with a long putt. Oh, great stuff. Good choice as well to leave the stick in. That's how to do it. Hammering them home for the points. Well done, Damjan. And just another indication of the wonderful camaraderie that exists within the teams here at this event. And talking of camaraderie, Team McDonald at the 8th on the bay. I think they'll be experiencing some love after this hole. Strathis rolls that one in. And he joins Anil Shivana with birdies. Kelsey McDonald can roll hers in, and it'll be a triple birdie for this team. But remember, Kelsey, playing in the pro event, has to putt this one out in terms of her pro score. And will certainly be buoyed by what she's seen from her teammates. Nicely done. And that is how you play the 8th on the bay. Now remember, the teams play on the 2 courses, the bay and the dunes, on day 1, and then change courses for day 2. This is Kiomkamere on hole 10 of the dunes. Oh, wonderful hands. And that is really unlucky. Hole 13, and one of our celebrity sports stars, Tom Evans, with a birdie chance. I like it. Oh, and his teammates, singers Brian McFadden and Keith Duffy, like that one. Great birdie from Tom Evans. He's on fire. And as always with these guys, the usual post-putt analysis as they discuss their golf going on to the next hole. They love their golf. They take it very seriously. Now on to the 14th on the dunes, and Josef Santin. This is all over the flag. Oh, my goodness. Look how close that pitch. That was nearly straight in the hole for an ace. At the top of the leaderboard, though, it was Team Burrows making an early impression. A great tee shot from Canadian pro Mike Burrows, now based in Austria, at the par 3 10th on the dunes course. Mike narrowly missed the birdie putt, but led his team to a very successful 93 points and 3rd on day 1. It's important to land the ball on the right part of the green, but Cyprian Zavloschi was taking that to new extremes with this superb tee shot at the par 3 13th on the bay course. judged to perfection, and as they say, he must be a member to get a bounce like that. Another great approach at 18 to finish the round, and Team Diaku totaled a fantastic 94 points for second place, only beaten to top spot on countback.
Let's get out there and have a good one.
And have a good one they did. Team Fakalbi, led by South African pro Ivano Fakalbi, played steady, consistent golf that pushed their score to 94 points. Avgeronos Piagalis tidying up well at the par 3 7th on the picturesque Bay course. Time now to hear from our round 1 leaders.
Gelled as a team, as we call it back home, where we dovetailed quite nicely. But yeah, we had a good day at the Bay.
And how was the Bay?
The Bay was excellent. I think a very scenic course, beautiful. See the sea from just about every hole, and challenging. Very nice.
Confirmation of the team championship leaderboard in this 2-round competition, and it's tight at the top with only 3 points separating the top 7 places at the halfway point. It's all to play for in round 2. Moving on to the professional championship, and Zeke Martinez, the 2012 Aegean Airlines Pro-Am champion, working his magic with wedge in hand and judging the backspin to perfection at the 3rd hole on the Dunes course. Easily rolling in the birdie to finish round 1 on 2 under par in a 4-way tie for 7th place. Paolo Terreni was given a little help with this delightful approach at hole 14 on the Bay. But he would go on to make a very well-deserved birdie, 1 of 6 in his round, and it could have been a very different story if he hadn't carded 2 double bogeys at 4 and 16, but he still finished 2 under for the day and well in contention. Ladies European Tour player Sophie Walker had an exciting first 2 holes, going birdie-birdie. She went on to make 1 more plus a bogey to end the day on 2 under. But it could have been even better for the Grimsby-born golfer if a few more long-range putts had dropped. Ian Campbell showed some real class around the greens on the Bay, also carding 2 under to complete that share of 7th place. Czech pro Petr Strugl was animated out on course. This putt to save par at the 1st on the Bay set up a round of 3 under par to finish tied 3rd, plus high fives from the team. For European Tour player Emanuele Canonica, the clue is in the name. He's an absolute cannon off the tee, and when you can go on to make birdie putts like this, it makes the game look easy. Emanuele also finishing on 3 under for a share of 3rd place. And from one Italian pro to another, we spoke to 3-time winner Nicolo Gaggiero before his round got underway.
I'm really happy to be here. You know, courses are in great shape. You see the weather, every time it's sunny, and my team is great, so it's a nice week.
And you've won this tournament 3 times. It must hold a special place in your heart.
Yeah, I won 3 times, but I think something is changing from last year's. You know, in the field there are a lot of good players, a lot of tournament players, so I think it will be tougher than last year.
Nicolo carded 4 birdies and a bogey on the dunes, with a couple of chances left out there on the course. Championship form? We'll find out with 2 rounds to go, but in good shape at 3 under with plenty more golf to play. Henrik Engdahl had an inspired finish to his round, seeing a couple of key putts drop at the last 2 holes. This cracker at 17 cheered into the hole by his team, and quite rightly so. Then a great approach into the reachable par 5 18th on the Bay course. He came up just short with the eagle putt, but secured himself another birdie to finish his first round at 4 under par and in a share of the lead, keeping his cool on what proved to be an emotional day for the Swede. Confirmation then of Henrik's card, and will those last two holes prove to be crucial in what has been a tight first day at the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am? We spoke to Henrik after his round.
Henrik, fantastic round of golf today, -4, joint clubhouse leader.
All right, yeah, I think solid today. I made a few tactical errors on par 5s, 9, 8 and 9 there, but got away with par. So no, it was solid. Yeah, I'm happy.
And then 18 as well, you had an eagle chance.
Yeah, came up short. I wanted to have the birdies secured, let's say so. I came up short there. But no, it was solid round of golf today. Thank you.
Now this is a tournament that you hold close to your heart. What would it mean if you managed to win here?
Well, especially this year, it will be so much. We just had a silent minute on the first tee, and I felt like his presence there. I got goosebumps, and I was like shaking and shivering, and it's going to be an emotional victory if I win here.
Sharing the top spot with Henrik was Italian Federico Eli. He managed a bogey-free round on the Dunes course, which is no mean feat. Just wide with that birdie opportunity at the par 3 10th, but he didn't make the same mistake at 17 with a superb tee shot to set up this birdie chance. Which he navigated with considerable confidence. A high-quality, error-free opening round then from Federico Eli in the bag with 4 birdies at 2, 9, 14 and 17. We spoke to Federico at the end of day 1.
Federico, clubhouse leader at -4. Tell us about the round.
I played very solidly, steady. I didn't miss many fairways. I putted quite well. The greens here are so good, and yeah, it's been flowed it nicely, and the team also was really good. We really enjoyed it.
Confirmation then of the round 1 scores. Federico and Henrik lead the way in this 3-round Aegean Airlines Pro-Am Championship, but with the top 10 covered by just 2 shots, it's still anyone's tournament. Coming up in part 2, we'll have the conclusion of the Pro-Am team competition and highlights from round 2 of the Professional Championship, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the 13th Aegean Airlines Pro-Am. Coming up in a moment, we'll have news and highlights from round 2 of the Professional Championship and coverage from the final round of the Pro-Am team event. But before we get back out to the course, it's time to hear from Achilles Konstantakopoulos of Costa Navarino, a great supporter of this event and proud host of the tournament.
Hosting the Aegean Pro-Am in Costa Navarino is a pleasure and a privilege. The secret to every nice golf course is to look like it has always been there. That's the secret of having a nice golf course. It has to fit in. It has to feel that it's part of the landscape or the existing landscape. So we really tried to follow the natural contours, to follow the existing landscape, to only plant indigenous species, the olive trees and the lavender. And we really tried to blend in between what's on the course and what's outside the course. There were 2 great men in golf in Greece. My late father, Captain Vasilis, who passed away in 2011, and my second captain, Theodor Vasilakis, who passed away only a month ago. I had the pleasure and the privilege to play dunes with both of them and actually hit the first strokes when the course was still under construction on number 2, together with Benan Langer, the designer of the course. We had a great time, a great day. So I hope now, when the new courses open, our children or our families will continue to play together and bring good luck to the courses and to Costa Navarino.
Back to the action now, and round 2 of the team event. First up on the tee, Celebrity's former rugby star Tom Evans, alongside singers Keith Duffy and Brian McFadden.
Hi, I'm Brian McFadden Evans. I am the older, good-looking version of the 3 Evans brothers. This is my younger brother Tom. You would have met Max earlier on. Clearly you can see where they get their physique and their dashing good looks from. But younger brother, how are you feeling about today?
Yeah, very good. We've got a good team in a good place going into this final round. And
no, start that again. We don't have a good team. We have a fantastic pro called Jake Rose. We have an amazing player right here who shot 2 under yesterday. Then you've got Keith Duffy, who plays half the match. He turns up kind of halfway around. And then you got me, who has shanked and lost more balls on this golf course than there actually has ever been on this golf course.
Okay, so looking ahead to today, how do you think you'll go?
Oh, very confident.
Very confident.
Well, very relaxed on the tee, and no surprise to see them playing some great golf out there on the course. At the second, Tom Evans almost hits the pin. Followed by 2 solid putts, as he and his team continue to have fun while getting the job done. A little later in the round at the 13th on the bay, and Keith Duffy showing some great control from just off the dance floor. Beautiful chip from Keith. And an even better putt. And more highlights from round 2. Anya Mathieu, also at the 13th on the bay, rolling that one in. More points on the board for her team. Christos Nikopoulos, one of Greece's leading professional golfers. Beautifully judged putt from Christos. And even the pros can't resist a little look across at the camera. Yes, we got that one, Christos. Great putt. And Mike Burrows, now based in Austria, at the 13th with his tee shot. One of those pros that you just feel will be in contention for the title, if not this year, at some stage. Marina Vasilieva on the bay. Oh, well done. Good bold putt as well, straight in the middle. Third on the dunes with the beautiful views in the background. Claude sinks his putt and celebrates. Why not? Beautiful day, beautiful golf. Paul Marks from the South African PGA, been a great supporter of this event and pretty close to winning it on several occasions, and that's why, with golf like that. Vladimir Rosnikov. Oh yes, and they're dropping these putts left, right and centre. Well done at the 17th. Back to Christos Nikopoulos. He knows his way around this course. And again, finding a beautiful line into 13. And what a way to use the contours of the green to feed that into the hole. And at the 7th, Cyprian Zavloshi scored plenty of points on day 1, and he's rolling them in again on day 2. Very good putt. Time now, though, to see who made it to the top of the leaderboard. Martin Dewhurst's team made a move on day 2. A great approach from Adolphe Baclair on hole 2 of the Bay course, setting up a birdie. They finished the tournament on a total of 179 points, which earned them 3rd place. But it was Team Diaku that really played out of their skin on day 2. Marinella Zavloshi finishing her round in style with a fantastic up and down at hole 18 on the Dunes course. And that meant they set a total of 185 points, leaving them as clubhouse leaders. All they had to do now was wait to see if Team Ficalbi could catch them. And they were trying everything in their power to do so. Lefty Piergalis putting this approach close at the par 5 12th on the dunes. Smiles all around from the South African team as Lefty made easy work of the birdie putt. And the tournament went down to the wire at the par 5 18th, with the 2 best scores being recorded from each 4-ball. Team Ficalbi needed 6 points on the last, only 5 points and it would go to countback. Avgerenos Piergalis had the first chance at a 3-pointer, which just slipped by. So it was down to Lefty to secure his 3 points and pray that that was enough to take the title.
So you currently sat tied with Team Diaku. How aware of that were you coming down that last hole?
Yeah, we knew we needed to make 6 points to win.
Yeah, we said we needed
we're aware of
6
that.
to win. And as you saw, our putting was a little bit rusty. I would say not rusty, but it was, you know, it gets to you. You get to that last little putt in the back of your mind, you know, that you got to make it. And that's, unfortunately, sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. Sevi said it, Santai, he go in, Santai, he no go in.
And in the end, it was enough on countback. Team Ficalbi crowned the 2018 Aegean Airlines Pro-Am team champions, but well played Team Diaku finishing in that runners-up spot. Time now for the awards ceremony, and the theme this evening is Starry Summer Nights. The guests were entertained by Brian McFadden and Keith Duffy, as well as the impressive Romain Bertu, trick shot show host. On now then to the awards and prizes. Starting with the longest drive winners across the Bay and the Dunes courses, Sebastiano Taro, Nikolai Kovac, Irini Krams and Marina Vasilieva. Nearest the pin winners, Anne Mumini, Keith Duffy and John Clark. The Bay Course Bronze Division winners were Team Richardson, led by professional Stephen Richardson, alongside Neil Percival, Nicky Lakabuchi and Steve Fage. The Dunes Course Bronze Division winners were Team Milne, made up of Willie Milne, Michael Reithmeyer, Jörg Neuberger and Fritz Kotzke. Silver Division winners on the Bay Course were Team Heinzinger, led by pro David Heinzinger, with Harmat Rothacker, Kiki Rothacker and Patrick Rothacker, a family affair. The Dunes Course silver winners were Team Evans, with Max Evans being awarded the prize by brother Tom. The team also included Claudia Tellenbach, Niall Keelahan and Andy Keelahan. And the Bay Course gold winners were 2016 champion Carly Booth's team, accompanied by Leslie Atkins, Gurinder Singh and Achal Ghai. And finally, Team Ficalbi, who took the Dunes Course gold title. Pro Ivano Ficalbi with Avgerinos Piergalis, Lefty Piergalis and Roy Braxton. Congratulations to the champions. All that was left was for Keith Duffy and Brian McFadden to get everyone up on their feet to dance the night away with some classic Boys Own and Westlife hits. On to day 2 of the Professional Championship, where 3-time winner Nicolo Guerriero was putting his experience at this tournament to good use, using the contours of the green nicely here at the 14th hole on the Bay. It was a topsy-turvy day for the Italian, 5 birdies but 6 bogeys, which left him on a total of 2 under in 8th place. But don't be surprised if he makes a move on the final day. Costa Navarino's very own Chrysanthos Diaku was showcasing his touch around the greens. It was tricky to get the ball close to the flags on day 2, so imperative that the short game was on point. And it was indeed for Chrysanthos, getting up and down here on the 9th, and he was on 3 under in joint 6th place at the end of the round. What an achievement it would be if he could chase down the leaders and win the title on his home track. European Tour player Alessandro Tadini had one of the rounds of the day, and despite this putt on the first at the dunes not dropping, he managed to pick up a total of 7 birdies and 3 bogeys on the course that the final round will be played on, which will surely give him plenty of confidence. The Italian finished day 2 on 4 under and in the mix. Federico Elli started well on day 2 at the Bay. His tee shot on the par 4 first found the putting surface and set him up with an eagle chance. He came up short with that putt, but just about managed to squeeze the birdie. He had an up and down day though, with 4 birdies and 4 bogeys. He remained on 4 under with a share of, yes, you've guessed it, 4th place. The other leader from day 1, Henrik Engdahl, went 1 better than Ellie on day 2. He carded 3 bogeys but 4 birdies and moved to 5 under going into the final round. If he could repeat that tomorrow without the drop shots, he'll have a chance. Former European Tour player Emanuele Canonica went 3 under on the Bay. He managed to pick up 5 birdies during the round, but it was his scrambling that was just as impressive. Here on the 17th, his drive found a bunker which set up an awkward 40-yarder into the green, and he nailed it. The Italian's wealth of experience and long game could be a factor in the final round. Confirmation then of Emanuele's Day 2 card. It was a blistering start on 1 and 2 and a strong finish that set up his total score of 6 under par to tie for the lead. With this man, South African Jake Roos, almost chipping in for an eagle at hole 2. In a round that included 2 eagles at 9 and 18, he also carded 4 birdies. He was accompanied by his celebrity team, Tom Evans, Brian McFadden and Keith Duffy. But it was Jake who was putting on the show. And when it's your day, and you get the good bounces. Here on 13, his tee shot setting up one of those 4 birdies. Greatly appreciated by the rest of the team. Confirmation then of his round, and what a round it was. Despite the double bogey on 17, he storms up the leaderboard to take a share of the lead on 6 under par with the Italian Emanuele Canonica. So here's how things stand with 18 to play in the Pro Championship. Jake and Emanuele out on top at 6 under. One back is the Swede Henrik Engdahl, who would dearly love to win the tournament this year. But keep an eye out for the rest of the Italian alliance of Tardini, Elli and Guerriero, all capable of going low in the final round. A tournament like this takes an incredible amount of planning. Head of the organising committee is Aegean Airlines' Katya Avramadou. We spoke to her ahead of the final day.
Well, every year we have in our Pro-Am participating sports celebrities, mainly from football, but also from basketball and from rugby, as this year. So we have rugby players like Tom Evans, Max Evans. We have a basketball legend, Joe Lauskas. And from football, what can I say? This year we have the honor to have Eric Abidal and also Christian Carambeu, also Frederic Dehoux. We have great expectations by previous winners like Jake Roos, like Peter Gustafsson, like Sergio Martinez, Carly Booth, but also by our Henrik Engdahl, the pro of our late German Theodor Vasilakis. And it would be an honorable tribute if Henrik could be the winner. Well, this year is not the same as in the previous years. Our late German, Mr. Vasilakis, is no longer with us, and it's quite a big challenge to proceed for this Pro-Am without his presence. I'm sure that we have his blessing, but we will miss him.
It certainly would be a fitting tribute, but Henrik is up against some stiff competition as we move into the final round of the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am, where everything is still to play for.
Henrik, 1 shot back from the leaders currently. What are your thoughts going into today's round?
I don't know really. I'm just going to try my best. I'm playing against 2 competitive players, so it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to do my best.
What are your thoughts if you did manage to turn it around and win today?
I don't know, it's a very good question. It's going to be an emotional victory. Now when Mr. Vasilakis is gone, it will be so fantastic to win the second one in his name.
Keep my mind clear and just play my normal game, didn't thinking about the other 2 guys plays with me. Maybe a little bit more pressure, but we'll see. I think shoot a 3-4 and could be good.
Wish you all the very best for today's round.
Thank you very much, and see you later on.
Anywhere on the course in particular that you're looking to attack, the par 5s for instance?
Yeah, I think there's 1 or 2 good ones coming up. 3 is a good one. But at 7 plays quite long uphill, so that's sort of a 3-shotter. But there's a lot of par 4s that got wedges in, so there's almost more chances on the par 4s sometimes, I think, than on the par 5s around here.
The scene is set for the final round of the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am, and our leaders are all away from the first tee. Can Henrik Engdahl make his move, or will Jake Roos and Emanuele Canonica hold on at the top? Join us after the break to find out, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to Costa Navarino and final round action from the Pro Championship at the 13th Aegean Airlines Pro-Am. Federico Eli at hole 3, well, he birdied hole 2, and this is a chance for back-to-back birdies to get to 6 under for the young Italian, and that will do very nicely indeed. He mounted a good challenge last year, Eli, and it's going pretty well so far. Now let's catch up with the final group and see how they've started their round. At hole 1, South African Jake Roos was the first to stamp his authority on this championship, almost holing out from 160 yards. Playing alongside him, Italian Emanuele Canonica left himself with some work to do to save par. But he confidently rolled in this 10-footer to avoid dropping a shot early doors. And Henrik Engdahl had this long-range effort for birdie. But he just came up short at the first, leaving a tap-in for par. Onto the third for our leaders, and both Jake and Emanuele went for the green in 2 at the 545-yard par 5 hole. Roos, though, finding the near-side bunker. But Canonica made the green to set up a wonderful eagle chance. As for Henrik on this occasion, discretion was the better part of valour, so he chose to lay up, but frustratingly fell short of the green with his approach. It's a tricky bunker shot from the front at the third, but Jake Roos gave it plenty of respect and plenty of height to get back in play, leaving that for a birdie. Canonica with this for eagle. 2 putts though on this rapid downhill effort will be a good return for the Italian. Lovely pace and very well managed, leaving a putt back up the slope to make a shot. Roos read his putt very well indeed and rolled it into the heart of the hole for his birdie. And Henrik Engdahl was given a perfect read by the South African, following his playing partners into the hole, but this time for Engdahl to save par. Leaving the early tournament leaderboard in this final round looking like this. Roos and Canonica still lead by 2 shots at 7 under. Eli and Engdahl in joint third on 5 under, and Tadini, the third of the Italians, still in the mix. Back out to the course and back out to the action. Emanuele Canonica at the 5th with his tee shot. Elevated tee down to this par 3 hole. 7 under par and looking for more, and that will do very nicely indeed. Gem of a tee shot nestling in close to the flag. Another elevated tee at the 6th. Federico Eli at the drivable par 4 6th, 280 metres, and he's given this one some treatment. That is a beautiful tee shot from Eli. And 5 under may be about to change for the young Italian. Great eagle opportunity. Jake Roos birdies on 1 and 3, but bogeyed 4. So back to 7 under par and tied with Canonica. What he wouldn't give to follow the Italian in, and that's not a bad shot, but as you can see, a bit of terrain to negotiate there to the hole. Back to 6, and Costa Navarino resident professional Chrysanthos Diakou started the day at 3 under, but he bogeyed 4 and 5, so he really needed that birdie. That's a shame for Diakou. Has to settle for par, but can't afford to drop any more shots. Sophie Walker been going very well. Best of the Ladies Tour challengers here. Started the day on 1 under, but overshot the green with her tee shot and went out of bounds, unfortunately. So this is for bogey. Not the start, I'm afraid, that Sophie would have wanted. Need to get things rolling early if you can, but Walker giving a good account of herself here in Greece. Roos, big swing left to right on this one. There's that terrain I was talking about. Not bad, but never up, never in. And he'll be a little bit annoyed with himself there. Tidies up though, no damage done for the South African. Now back to this fabulous 6th hole with this eagle chance for Ellie. This to move to a joint ownership of the lead on 7 under. Oh, beautifully done. And Federico Ellie's golf over the last couple of years here at Costa Navarino has been of the highest quality. Brilliant. And certainly well worth the fist bump. So Ellie, share of the lead with Canonica and Ruse. Although Canonica here can take the lead back all for himself at 8 under. No. Oh, that is frustrating. Thought he had that read really nice. It's a game of fractions though, isn't it, golf? We know that. And that shot could prove really important, but a 3-way tie for the lead it is. Ellie, Canonica and Ruse. On to the 9th Czech pro, Petr Strugl. Interesting start to his round, 2 bogeys and 3 birdies, and off the 9th tee went into the bunker, so needed to go close with that approach to give himself a chance of saving par. Back to the drivable par 4 then. And our last group, Henrik Engdahl then, parred every hole up until now. So 2 back from the leaders that he's playing alongside. Can he hit the dance floor? Not quite. Well, still chances for a birdie there for Engdahl. Tadini at 7, the European Tour player, started the day on 4 under. And he too, like Engdahl, has parred every hole so far, but a wayward tee shot's got him in a bit of trouble there. Back to Ruse. Will be aware that it's now a 3-way tie for the lead. This man can hit a ball. And unfortunately, he's just hit that a little bit too far to the right. The 11th, and Germany's David Heinzinger. What a gentleman David is. Gave a really good account of himself last year, but also conducted himself out on the course with great poise, and that's not a bad shot from him. So good touch, chance of saving par. Ready for birdie. That will be a 3-shot swing for him in 2 holes. Oh yes indeed, and eagle birdie for Federico Ellie, and he claims the lead for Italy. More fist bumps all around. Back to Engdahl. Second shot for him, keeps his head down on that one. And again, lovely hands, knows how these greens are going to run, does Henrik, and that's run out quite beautifully.
Balls, guys. Call them through.
Now maybe that is a signal of a change of fortune for him. Nicolo Gaggiero, 3-time winner of this event. We were expecting a final round charge from Nicolo, but hasn't quite caught fire yet. 340 metre par 4 13th. Kelsey McDonald for birdie. What a fantastic player she is to watch when she gets on a run. Enjoyed herself here in Greece, but it just hasn't quite happened on the course. But frustratingly, could have done with a few more of those cracking putts dropping this week. Takes her back to 6 over. Kelsey, part of an increasingly strong group of Ladies Tour players that come to this event each year, looking to emulate Carly Booth and her victory 2 years ago. Back at 6, not a great second shot from Jake Ruse, so lots of work to do if he wants to stay at 7 under and in second place behind our new leader, Federico Ellie. Nicolo Gaggiero then for birdie. Now, is that the start of a run for the former champion? We will have to see, but I wouldn't put it past him to have a little dart on the back 9. Canonica for birdie. Not dropping at the moment for Emanuele. And this is a tricky putt for Jake. Needs to hold his nerve, and he does so. Well, you sometimes have to negotiate those par putts to keep your challenge alive. And another former champion, Jake Ruse, has done exactly that. Talking of former champions, Henrik Engdahl rolls it in. And from one former champion to the current champion, there he is, fellow Swede Peter Gustafsson. Is that going to be a passing of the baton? We'll find out after the break. Welcome back to Costa Navarino for the conclusion to the final round of the Professional Championship at the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am. Back on the Dunes course, and Jake Roos is still out in front. A superb approach at hole 11, setting up another birdie chance. But it was an eventful first 12 holes for the South African. 5 birdies on the plus side, but he also dropped shots at 4, 8 and 10 to keep him at 8 under par, but still good enough for the lead. Not far behind him was Emanuele Canonica, the Italian, here at 9. A short approach after another impressive drive left him with a putt for birdie. And it was 2 birdies on the way out, but a drop shot at 12, which meant that he was one behind playing partner Roos on 7 under par. Sweden's Henrik Engdahl, now based in Crete, has done so much for the game of golf here in Greece. And was here right at the very start of this Aegean Airlines Pro-Am, was the very first champion, but needs a run of birdies on this back 9. Now Federico Eli, the young Italian, dropped a shot at 12, but his long putting so far this week has been amazing, and this has got a chance. Oh yes. Well, what a way to recover the situation. Drains a monster putt, and I don't think he can quite believe that one himself. In that front bunker at the 13th. Oh, that's not so good, I'm afraid, from Canonica. Did an up and down, can't afford to drop another shot. 3-time former champion Nicolo Gaggero. And that final day charge from Nicolo just hasn't quite materialised, hasn't been his day. But he'll be back to fight again next year. Henrik Engdahl with that birdie chance at 13 to move to 7 under. Oh yes, in it goes. And that dream of a second title here at the Aegean Airlines Pro-Am is still very much alive for Henrik Engdahl. And he's got that look of steely determination, hasn't he, the Swede? Now Emanuele Canonica can't afford to drop shots, and that's nicely done. But it's still a bogey for the Italian. Martin Dewhurst, former professional here at Costa Navarino, started the day on 3 under, but has dropped a few too many shots. Oh, he's nailed this one though. Oh, what a cracker from Dewhurst. Engdahl at 14 with his tee shot. He's looking very, very balanced, striking the ball beautifully in this final round. And it's another good shot, and that's just about where you want to be on this green. Relatively straight putt for him. And playing partner, Jake Roos, not having it all his own way, so he's got company now at the top of the leaderboard. And it looks like we've got a great battle for the title this year. And as we move towards the closing stretch, it's time to hear more about the last 3 holes on the Dunes course from no less than 2015 champion Carly Booth.
The 16th hole is a par 5, roughly 520 yards. It's reachable in 2 if you can get a good drive. The line, I would say, would be over the left bunker and hopefully be able to reach the green in 2. Otherwise, I'd probably leave myself roughly 70 yard shot in for a nice approach and give myself a chance for birdie. 17th hole is a par 3, roughly 185 yards. In my eyes, I see it. There's 2 greens. There's a big tier in the middle, so there's the left part and the right part. Depending on where the pin is, that's where I would hope to leave myself on the right tier, below the hole, giving myself an uphill putt. The 18th hole is a lovely hole to finish. It's a par 5, roughly 530 yards. The drive is important, you know, get yourself on the fairway, aiming over the kind of left side of the right bunker, gives you a good line in and it feeds down the slope. If I don't feel I can reach the green in 2, I'll probably leave myself a nice kind of 70 yard shot and have a nice high kind of chip going into that green and getting it to stop quickly.
Well, those holes to come for our leaders, but at 14, Jake Roos missed his putt, but Henrik Engdahl has got a fantastic read from the South African. Looking good. Oh, he's hit it well, and in it goes. And Engdahl moves himself to 8 under. And once again, we are tied for the lead in this final round. On to hole 15, and Henrik was in trouble on the right after a long drive, found those olive trees. But he's got a great angle to the green, and look at this. for an amazing recovery shot, with a chance to make it 3 birdies in a row. And that's exactly what he did, and this man now on an incredible run. Great putting from Henrik Engdahl moves him to 9 under, and we've now got a new leader in the Pro Championship. Onto the drivable par 5 16th. We heard what Carly said about this hole. Henrik going for it in 2 after a solid drive to get over the hill. It's a high cut to go for the green with his second, but just into that bunker. But out of the sand, and with a chance for another birdie. In it goes, and Engdahl stretches his lead to 2 shots, moving to 10 under par. 4 birdies in a row for Henrik Engdahl, and Jake Roos was feeling the pressure. Birdie putt at 16, narrowly missed. But he missed the one on the way back as well, and his score was moving in the other direction. The South African dropping a shot to go back to 7 under par, with only 2 to play. Confirmation then of this sensational turn of events. Engdahl on a storming run moves to the top of the leaderboard. Federico Eli with a chance to catch him, but he's got to eagle the 18th. The rest though dropping away, the Swede in control. Eli then forced to go for it on 18, but the wind is against him. It's got to be a very sweet strike. Does it have the legs? And the answer, I'm afraid, is no, and Federico Eli will know that's probably his chance gone to put pressure on Henrik Engdahl, but there's still the runners-up spot to play for, but unfortunately a double bogey at the last hole meant he was out of contention and dropped back to 6 under. And that left just one man standing, Henrik Engdahl, with a fantastic run of birdies, and now all that was left for him was to safely negotiate the 18th, which he did to perfection, laying up with his approach at this par 5 and then pitching on and leaving himself a couple of putts to secure the title for a second time. And the crowd knows how much this victory will mean to him. Emanuele and Jake on hand to give their congratulations, and Katja Avramadou of Aegean Airlines showing her appreciation for what is a very emotional victory for Henrik Engdahl. Well, we know how tough sport can be sometimes, but today it's a fairy tale ending for a very popular winner. Confirmation then of Henrik's scorecard at the 13th Aegean Airlines Pro-Am, and it was hole 13 where the magic began to happen, and it didn't stop until the 16th. That 4 birdie run taking him to 10 under the card and the title. Jake Roos just missing out, but he had some kind words for the champion.
Jake, a solid round of golf today, but wasn't quite good enough.
Yes, no, I got off to a nice start, birdied the first and then made a birdie on 3, so I got off to a nice start, but I just made a couple of too many errors, you know, so a couple of bogeys were thrown in there, but I had 5 birdies through 11 holes, and then they kind of dried up, and just about at that time Henrik started playing really well and had 4 birdies on the trot, so all credit to him, he really played well and deserves the win.
Henrik, with your history in this event, sometimes things are just meant to be.
It was, I don't know, I got some divine help today, I think. Like Jake said, I played patiently, I made some nice up and downs, and then all of a sudden the putt just got red hot and I made 4 solid birdies in a row, 13, 14, 15 and 16. But today the emotional part is, I don't know, I cannot really describe it, to be honest. I dedicate obviously this week victory to a good friend, Mr. Vasilakis.
So here's how this year's Pro Tournament finished. Henrik, now a 2-time champion, with a win that was dedicated, as you heard, to his friend, the late Mr. Vasilakis. A poignant way to finish this year's Pro-Am. Commiserations to Jake and Emanuele, but they'll be back next year for another shot at the title. And so, to the spectacular gala dinner for the presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear ministers, dear mayor, dear President, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to you in today's Opera Night.
The evening included distinguished guests such as the chairman of Aegean, son of the late Theodore Vasilakis, of Tygios Vasilakis.
I think my father is a very tough act to follow. So while we know we can't quite get there, I think we all have to try, because he would have wanted us to try. He got a tremendous amount of pleasure and satisfaction in getting golf upgraded and introduced into Greece. He had a tremendous partner in that, his friend Captain Vasilis Konstantakopoulos, who was the visionary of this whole area, and of course his son Achilleas.
It is a very poignant moment, as it is the first time that we have played this tournament in the absence of Theodore Vasilakis. He was a man of great vision and great perseverance. He was the leader of the golfing community in Greece, and he will be greatly missed by all of us.
Now to the prizes, and first the runners-up for the team championship, Team Diakou. And the Aegean Pro-Am champions for 2018, congratulations to Team Ficalbi, professional Ivano Ficalbi, lefty, and Avgerinos Piagalis and Ray Braxton. Runner-up in the professional event was South African Jake Roos.
Please welcome the 13th Aegean Airlines Pro-Am champion, Henrik Engdahl.
A hugely popular victor, Sweden's Henrik Engdahl, with the trophy awarded to him by Evtikios Vasilakis. Congratulations then to Henrik, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again next year.